Cancer, welcome to your hopes, fears, and reality spread. As per usual, you can click right on that description box below, and it will talk about the significance of the spread as well as the placement of each card. So you are hoping to come out of a state of lacking, okay? The fives are about chaos, and chaos comes into our life to show us the things we don't want. So you figured out what you don't want. You figured out how to move past that. And now you're wanting to put this into action no matter what it takes, okay? The Queen of Wands in the inverse is a bit of a performer. So it's kind of like fake it till you make it. You know, I was feeling a lack in this particular thing. I'm going to first set my mind into the fact that I can get over this lack, and then I'm going to put a plan into play as I move forward. So this is just that general mindset of, I got this, I can move past it. And then you're hoping that will actually help propel you past it. So hoping to come out of a sense of lack by first changing it within and then bringing it without. Basic manifestation. The fear that you have is there's this unknown factor, this confusion in regards to how deep this really goes. Because this could be about nostalgia, but it can also be about your inner child. With that being said, you're wondering where this sense of lack came in and how you let it in, how deep this really goes. And you actually have a little bit of fear or anxiety in regards to the process of getting over this, because it could go a lot deeper than you initially intended. So you could be looking at a lot of shadow work ahead of you, a lot of light work, however you want to look at it. The reality of the situation is that you want to create an environment based on facts and truth in which you can hold your own and speak your mind freely. You don't want to keep charging ahead forward and not have that environment, because if you're constantly changing and constantly moving, you don't have the time to develop that steady ground and steady foundation. So what I see here is that you were caught up in a situation, and the situation had more control over you than you did of it. When you recognized you were lacking control, you were like, you know what? It's because I'm not taking the reins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide not to be caught up in these quick, swift movements anymore. And I'm going to ground myself. But although it feels good, and although it's helping you get out of that sense of lack, there's a nervousness to it, because you're like, oh shit, I do this all the time. So you're recognizing that you have to go way deep inside and find out where that habit began and where it actually stems from in order to change it, so you don't carry it into the next chapter of your life. This is you stepping off of your karmic wheel. This is you, I often say, and you hear a lot of people say, it's a very common saying, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. This is you realizing that. This is you realizing what you've always done. You're like, I keep winding up in the same situation over and over because I carelessly let these situations pull me in one direction or another. I can't do that anymore. I need to stand my ground and create an environment in which I can leverage my logic, where I can slow down my decision making so I don't wind up just getting carried away. Yep. You have the outside disrupting force that made you change your values. You're choosing to wrestle with your shadow side in order to build a healthier and happier foundation. This is the beginning. This is the first step in making a change in the habits that you have every day. Get out of autopilot, Cancer. Instead of going with your gut feeling and then feeling like you have to back up the decision that you made, take the time to think about it, or recognize that some of the decisions that you make didn't serve your highest good, and go ahead and change the path that you're on. It's okay. It's okay to say, I'm going to do something different now because when I made the decision last week, last month, or last year, I didn't know. I made a mistake. Now it's time for me to correct it. And it's time for me to slow down with my decision-making skills so I don't keep winding up in this situation over and over. Cancer, I hope you found a message that serves your highest good. I hope you can take ownership of this particular trait that you have and learn how to make the changes that will serve your highest good in the future and help you create an environment in which you make sound decisions at a slower pace moving forward. Love you guys. I'll see you next week.